to Heart Month. Today we are playing Horatio story Love Thyself. Where am I going? I'm going back to my room. Don't I have class? I feel a trail of fire down my throat and into my stomach. I wash my face at the sink and slowly regain some composure. The schedule on my holopad switches from lunch to extracurriculars. The little pop-up menu indicates that I'm having an imperial maintenance in the kitchen. No, am I cooking? My cooking guy? Not sure what this is about, but I know I don't want to be late to it or anything ever again. I trotted to my room. I go to the mess hall minutes later. Running was not a good idea. My stomach is vehemently protesting as I look around for, well, I'm guessing the rest of the class. The other students assigned here, I'm not sure how things work. This is now entirely deserted, which feels strange. Nobody but me. About to walk out and look for a holopad to check my schedule when I hear a call. Hey, they assigned you. What a coincidence. I turn around as the lunch person who tricked me. He's waving me over from behind the counter. Do I get to make friends with this person? Imperial maintenance, huh? You must have impersonally pissed someone off. I get around the counter and into the kitchen. The place is a mess. I stand in front of him, my face carefully composed mask. The fact that my food is still churning in my stomach doesn't help me. I feel queasy. Oh, come on, don't be like that. It was just a harmless prank. I couldn't know you were already on someone's shit list. I look at him frowning. Something is not right in my belly. It feels like it's trying to claw back up. Oh, you probably didn't know. Well, Imperial Maintenance is basically the janitorial duties are all yours. The whole station? Nobody wants to push a mop for a living, so it's dished out as punishment. Looks like you and me are on the cleaning duty today. What did you do? I'm about to speak up when a sudden urge to retch overpowers me and I vomit on the floor. Well, good thing I'm the janitor and I'm going to clean it up. And this is where you'll start. I hate the feeling, but I have to say I immediately review. Red firegrass will do that to you when you put too much. I did kind of set you up for it. Sorry. He hands me a dishcloth which I wipe my mouth with. I'm Darren. F19, by the way. So he's 2 batches before you. Second level initiate mirrors Darren F19. Avernus first level initiate mirrors Avernus F21. His hand is still open, extended towards me. He is looking intently at me. I shake his hand. Place my hand and squeeze, feeling it is the appropriate thing to do after induction, so he looks take it back. His hand is warm and limp in my clammy fingers. The experience is deeply uncomfortable. Okay. I'm not sure what I was trying to do here. We go. I grab a mop and a bucket and I set about cleaning my mouth. Darren F19 stupendously snatches the dishcloth from the countertop I've let it on. He does his best to look like he's cleaning, but after a couple of glances at him, he's clear that he's just puttering about. From time to time, he looks back at how I'm getting on. Once I'm more or less done, he turns to me. Yep, I think we're pretty much done here. What do you think? What do you mean? Well, I don't know about you, but I got places to be. Better things to do than pushing a mop around. We just call this a day and go about our lives. How does that sound? When we get caught, I'm not exactly popular right now. He laughed. Having had this laugh directed at me just a few minutes ago, I'm not sure how to take it. Right, you're on the shit list. Let me show you how things work around here. He walks up to a wall-mounted holopad and starts typing around, flicking windows open until he finds what he's looking for. There, see? Imperial Maintenance Kitchen. Our name's at basically the low-level schedule. Well, if you put your hand on the biotic scanner here and then click on the edit, you can just remove us from this. Oh. A hack. Extracurricular my smooth ass. I have to admit that I'm impressed. And that really worked? I gotta tell you something you may not have realized yet. The security features here are to protect the Empire from its indesirable. They are actually they are not actually geared to protect it from insiders who might have different inculation. He turns to me. So what, you say we're done here? I consider my option. Save. Yes, we're done. It's way too risky. I need to prove I can do this right. Listen, you can leave if you like, but I need to make sure this is done properly. Through absolutely no fault of my own, am I currently at odds with the headmaster? We gotta do what we gotta do, right? Okay, I thought, I didn't expect that answer to be fair. Fine, have it your way. Presses a few buttons in the holopad, and a moment later he turns back to me. Anyway, have fun maintaining the Empire. He leaves the kitchen, waving a hand casually over his shoulder. I stand alone. Right. Take a good look around me, except for the bit of the floor that I've mopped. The place is near identical to the state I found it in. So, I got a lot of cleaning ahead of me. The bucket is full of some very suspicious, vaguely foamy liquid. Half the floor is covered in it. I step on an area that is slightly wet. It seems to stick to my sole. I gingerly step away, but the damage is done. I now have a sticky boot. What is that thing? Spot a big jug of it on the counter, and it's got the cap open, and it comes from a closer look. The text on the side reads, "Sweet and sour foul song." I take a whiff from the contents, and no dote is what's inside the bucket. Oh darn F-19. What were you trying to do? I open a storage compartment at random, looking for something to clean this mess up with. Eventually my eyes land on a jug of similar shape, size, and color. A cursory glance on the back of it reveals that it's indeed an all-purpose detergent. So it's a jug that looks almost the exact same. Okay. With a heavy sigh, I grab the bucket full of goop and look for some place to empty it. I notice the recycling chute, and after a brief shudder I open it and press the upturn the bucket. Aww. Are you possibly dumping some gross liquid on some shooted people? The contents spill out, sickling slow. I rinse the bucket with water, pour 3 times the amount of detergent instructions required, grab the mop and get to work. And I clean the whole place. An hour of exerting work later, I look about. I excited, but the place is sparkling. I decide that I'm officially done. I put the cleaning products away and walk out of the kitchen. Retaining the Empire is exhausting. Let's double save. I step in the hallway and walk around without particular purpose. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with myself. And now it's time to go to bed. A few minutes of aimless wandering, my steps take me back to the concourse. It is almost empty compared to the first time I saw it. Still, the murmurs of distant conversation, the echoing footsteps, the light flickering from outside. All of it contributes to giving the place an air of reverence. Try not to gawk as I walk around. The freely growing trees, the fountains, the water pieces, the running water, all of this contributes to paint a picture of an empire built on boundless pride. We are, I'm pretty sure of, one small mistake away from a tragic accident here, if the glass ceiling were to shatter. We'd all be sucked right out. Well, hopefully it's really, really thick and has a force field. Boundless arrogance or endless optimism. Probably a bit of both. I hear footsteps rapidly approaching as startled me as I was caught doing something illegal. Thought crime. Thankfully, nobody can hear what's going on in my head. Can they? I look discreetly over my shoulder and recognize Ixorus B12, the master surgeon. Guy. He is in an agitated conversation with, I think it was Turgis F07, the lab tech? I hear some other exchange as they get closer. What do you mean you don't know where he is? I am his instructor, same as you. I am not here to track brothers at your convenience. If you, of all his siblings, hadn't kept on piling sanctions on him to build a character, he might have been more assiduous in his attendance. What do you mean you have siblings? Oh, we wrote clones here. Exodus B12 comes from an abrupt stop a couple meters away from me and turns to face Turgis F07, practically shouting in his face. This is important. Well, I'm sorry I can't help you. Not only is this not my expertise, but I've got more prior engagement. He's got double bags under his eyes. And yeah, their lines are different. But his head's kind of like, unless his head is also like that when he turns to the side, I don't know. I don't get it. It's blowing up ships. And showing Ernest PO2 your worth. Is one of the clones rogue? He was lucky to be selected for fleet maneuvers in the first place. Who wouldn't jump at the chance? Looks like he wouldn't. Xerus B12 stomps off down the hall. Turgis F07 turns around and I am disdainfied rid posture. He musters a general direction of the master surgeon. I'm almost late for a picnic now. My picnic? Now there is my greenhouse. Oh, this way. Ooh, a greenhouse. He walks away at a leisurely pace. Fleet maneuvers, that sounds like an advanced class. It could be a way to blow things up, take the pressure off. Or a way to try to lift and fit the show I'm worth. On the other hand, a picnic. A picnic. I gotta choose which guy I'm gonna follow, and you know I'm gonna choose the picnic. What do you want to do? Oh. Let's blow things up, have some fun. I need to show that I'm made of fleet maneuver. It is. A picnic sounds fun. Let's save on the question. I gotta see that greenhouse. That sounds a little too good to be true, but experience aboard this station can't be possibly harrowing, can they? I jog after Turris F07. He turns his head towards me but doesn't stop. He's like, I'm being followed. You look familiar. Can I help you? I heard you were having a picnic in the greenhouse. I was hoping I might join you. He stops and considers this for a second. He peers at me intently. What did you say your name was? Avernus F21. First level initiative mirrors Avernus F21. F21, huh? My third-rate Chamberlain mirrored his Turgis F07, but among us, our fix won't be necessary. Yes, you may tag along. Some games are better off with 3 players. Are you familiar with the Horatio, aren't you? What? No. I may need a rules refresher, especially if you are playing with local variants or the rules have changed recently. Yes, we are playing with the local variant. It looks like I'll just have to fake my way through this game, just like I do with everything else. Greenhouse picnic, here I come. Let's go then, we're already late. He resumes his walk, and I follow. We walk for a good while, past many signs that read greenhouse, and point in another direction. I glance at him sideways, but he doesn't seem to worry. Eventually we go to a quiet area. A sign out of order is placed on front of the door that reads Greenhouse Access 9. Turgis F07 steps around it and grabs the handle. With a hiss, the door opens. A wave of hot and humid air hits me, accompanied by strange and fragrant smells. I hear bird calls coming from inside. After you. Step into the greenhouse and into another world. Purple. Shades of purple. Turgis F07 steps in and closes the door behind him. On this side, it is barely distinguishable from the thick foliage surrounding us. Look around me in astonishment. Plants, bushes, trees, the vines are everywhere, dripping over one another towards a canopy I can barely make out. This place is deeply alien and yet oddly familiar. It feels like being in my clone birth. Your mouth is open. Be careful you don't accidentally swallow a mosquito. Is it a biome? Don't worry, there are no mosquitoes here. Then why'd you say that? Try as we might, though, it was impossible to prevent most... Try as we might have, though, it was impossible to prevent most insects from cropping up here and there. The larvae were in the saplings and in the pots, you see. Yeah. Anyway, we also have an assortment of wildlife, ranging from small amphibians to birds, with more exotic species coming from all over the Empire, those who survived any. Oh. This way, do watch your step. He starts walking through the underbrush. I step after him gingerly, carefully not to trample anything, or step in anything weird. Is that mucky stuff animal dung? Do you have any predators in here? Yeah. Do you have any predators in here? He chuckled. No, nothing that would hurt you. Too much. We have a biggest threat around here. We are the biggest threat. Good, good, good. We walk for what feels like a while through the forest. Every once in a while I catch a glance of a familiar sight. Support pillow here or a window panel there. Otherwise, I'm pretty lost. Well, there's windows and pillars randomly in the forest? I think we have, in all likelihood, covered a couple of 100 meters, but I am pretty sure I can never find the exit we came through ever again. So it's a pretty big biome then. I wonder if this is like, since we came in like a back exit, I wonder if this was off limits to regular people and the other door would have led them to a smaller area. This last thought kind of freaks me out, and I hurry to catch up with Turgis F07 when he rounds a big tree and suddenly stops. Ooh, a waterfall. We're there. We have arrived at a small clearing, nestled against the stone ridge. That can't be a real rock. What? That's what you're like? Oh, that can't be real. A rock? Then I realized that off the ridge drops a waterfall. This place is breathtaking. I start smiling without being able to help myself. Whoa. Yes, I am quite fond of this place too. Come on, let's introduce you. Snap out of my revere. Introduction? Turgis F07 walks into the clearing. Stepping on a patch of grass, I realize another Horatio is lounging there. Laying back next to the water, I recognize him immediately. It's my lunch friend? Avernus F21. Allow me to introduce you to Darren F19. Oh! He sits up a bit and waves at me. Fancy of you to join us. Turgis F07 sits down cross-legged and I follow suit, although it makes me a couple of tries to get it right. Darren F19 opens a satchel and starts pulling out various food items from it. He starts passing fruit around. I eyed the thing suspiciously. It is purple? Well, I'd understand he's, like, with him and food being a little suspicious. It is purple with a curly, hard stem and no visual imperfections. Save. I wait for them. I'm just a bit cautious. I've been burned before, and by the exact person. Fair enough. 19 winks at me and takes a bite. Alright then. Juices pour out after my first crunchy bite. There is this music on. So incredibly tasty that I feel tears well up in my eyes. He made you cry twice over food. Sweet note followed by immediately sour taste. That makes the back of my palate tingle. This is my favorite food in the world. This is the only food you've eaten. I try to speak with a full mouth. This is so good. Where do you get this kind of fruit? Oh, the tree's right here on the station, and another part of the greenhouse. He smirks. They grow on the same goop as you. This dampens my satisfaction a little bit, and I eat the rest of my fruit in silence. I don't know what that means by the same goop. Some sort of growing? I don't know. Seem slightly amused by my reaction. To answer your question though, I didn't pick them myself. I liberated these from the station pantry. They're reserved for officers and brothers of the station comparable or superior to that of our dear Turgis F07. Liberated, huh? Let's say that they're unlikely to miss any of it, right, Turgis F07? Yes, their stomachs tend to be delicate since they're used to the imperial nourishment feed. Mean the slop we get in the mess? Indeed. Most of them are so used to eating it that their organs aren't really up for anything else. Well, it's the only thing you ever gave them. But on the station where your food regimen is assigned to you, what you eat shows important you are. Oh, what you eat shows how important you are. So they put on a brave show. And anyway, they're sparing them this trial. Here's what I spared them from today. Catch. Turn F9 hands out a variety of cookies and what I think are soft cheese with a mild taste. Cookies? We top it up with a fizzy drink and I sit in the companional silence, silently watching the water stream by. Birds sing in the trees all around us. We're a million kilometers away from the rest of the station. Want to play a game? We turn towards Darren F19. Come on, Horatio. Anyone? You know I'm always up for a game. What about you, Avernus F21? I know what game is about. I'm not sure I'm up for another bout of faking my way through the day, but it's so nice just hanging out. What should I answer? I think I'm just going to leave it here. I think this is so I think this is a pretty cool concept of a game. Kind of really just dystopia sci-fi game with the kind of like this. I know Star Wars. I think Star Wars because of the clones and the fact that there's an empire and a dictator. But this is a really cool game. I might finish playing this later. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.